Bases are loaded, bottom of the 7th, 1 out. I knew I was going to get the curveball coming into me, and I knew I had to be a little bit earlier to cut it off. Next pitch, there it was. I got the pitch I was looking for and that I had planned on hitting the day before.
Ellis swings away, deep left field. Her first swing is as grand as it gets.
I just did the thing that
You've
I
always
had
been
been
dreaming
about to do my whole life.
But it's like literally weeks later and you're just completely different.
It was a lot. I just remember feeling like I didn't really know where I was or who I was. I've had bad seasons, but it was that on top of, I don't know who I am, don't even know the people I'm surrounded with right now. Like, my world just got flipped upside down. It felt like the world was happening around me and I was just there. I had zero piece of control over anything.
Hey y'all, it's Montana Fouts and welcome to Inside the CRCLE. We have a special guest here in Bri Ellis, and she's just literally the type of player that can change the game in one swing. Just gonna talk about her journey through softball, literally being a National Player of the Year, and just her journey into professional softball, childhood mentality, all the things. So excited to welcome Bri Ellis, the Bri Ellis.
Yay!
Beauty queen and queen of softball. I guess the very first question that I want to ask, because I've never even asked you this before, is when did you realize you were like, wait a minute, I'm pretty good?
See, I don't even know. I think it was always just kind of I was always
like an understood.
I was always kind of more athletic than everyone else, taller, faster, stronger, especially like as a girl. Like, you know how when you grow up, you got to play on like the boys basketball team and stuff, I mean, it's all about character development at the end, having to play on the boys team.
Yes.
But I always just kind of like had an edge over everyone else, and I wasn't interested in the same thing that, you know, people my age and like in my friend group at school, that was stuff that they were interested in. And so, yeah, I think I was like, 5 or 6 when my parents made me play every sport. Obviously I have an older sister, 4 years older than me. So everything she did, I wanted to do. And I think we just kind of both fell into softball and we both liked it. So it just kind of stuck because it was easiest for my parents if they could just both take us and drop us off at the same place. But yeah, and then I think she was better than me. She's going to watch this and I can see all the comments right now.
Yeah.
But it's like, she was better than me. I remember we had like a little all-star team we called it league, but it was like rec ball.
Okay.
Rec ball organization.
Like the all-star kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all-star. And she made it, there was like a red and white team. The red team was good, like the number 1, white team was number 2. Well, Emily made the red team and I made the white team that year. So I was like, okay, whatever. She's older than me, I'll let her have it. So she starts playing and I'm around her all the time, and I actually was a pitcher. And I was pretty serious about it. Couldn't throw a strike to save my life.
But you loved it.
But I loved it. I loved it so much. I didn't have the same kind of like competitive edge that I did in the box as I did in the circle, and that's just because I wasn't ever really good enough, I guess. Like, there was no, I know I'm gonna win right now in the circle, because I knew I had it in the box. I didn't always have it in the circle. But that's for another day. But so, going to all my sister's games and practices and everything, my dad, you know those buckets with the sleeve and the big over the shoulder? My dad was carrying the bucket, and we would go to like whatever open space it was by the field, and we were pitching every day. I think I pitched so much more than I hit too. It's just like,
that's so crazy to me.
I know. It just didn't come.
How old?
Didn't come naturally. I think up until I was like 12.
Which is like pretty, that's like intense age.
I was getting recruited.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, and I really wanted to go to play for and pitch and hit for, because, you know, that was her whole thing.
Yeah.
And so he basically told my travel ball coach, like, we're interested in her as a hitter, not a pitcher. And my coach was like, hey, you need to give it up.
Yeah.
You need to give up.
You need to give it up.
You need to give it up, and like, you need to really decide. I think how he said it, he was like, would you rather go to a smaller school and pitch and hit, or go be like the face of the sport and just be a hitter?
Yeah.
There's a B. But I made up my mind pretty quickly at that. I was like, yeah, no, I'll just hit. And I don't know. I didn't really, like I said, it never really came to me naturally. It was always something that I had to like work extra hard for, which there's nothing wrong with that. But like, I don't think that I ever had like the taste of greatness that I did with hitting. And I mean, I'm sure I could have figured it out, but
You're competitive enough that like you would have figured something out, but like that little extra oomph you always have with hitting.
Yeah.
Which
exactly.
you would say probably what, like the 5 and 6 age probably? Is that the age that we're talking about where you're like, I'm pretty good? Can you even be that great of a hitter at 5?
No. Well,
So
yes,
are you talking like 8 and you were?
My dad pulled up the like old video recorder. He's got videos of me hitting home runs when I was like 7 and 8.
That's pretty crazy.
I know.
You're like the Babe Ruth of the 8-year-old team.
And it like they resurfaced within the past year, so I have.
Wait, I need to see these.
We can.
We're gonna insert this because I'm highly interested in that. But one thing I always find so interesting, and you kind of reminded me when you were talking about it, one thing that like I feel like we all can be better at, especially in a game that's so hard, is like you just know that you're great.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that a lot of people, myself included, like kind of struggle to talk about. And it's like not even confidence. It's just like it's okay to know that you're good at something.
Yeah.
When do you feel like that kind of like was with you, or what it is about that you're like, no, like I'm gonna talk about it because I worked for it?
Yeah. I think it started with my family and like my parents specifically. They were always so good at being very present in my sister and I's lives and very vocal about, you know, we love you, you are amazing, all this stuff, like making sure it was instilled in our brain. And I do think that that's where like my confidence stems from, is that nothing of that sort was ever really a question in my life. And I just always had such a great support system with mom, dad, and sister. I mean, there was definitely times where I was like, I don't know, but they would like come back and be like, no, like you're the one. And when you have them telling you that all the time, it's just like second nature to you. But I do think that there's, I don't know if stigma is the right word, but like it can be frowned upon for females and girls and women to like be proud of themselves. Like it's, oh, you're bossy, or oh, you're full of yourself and stuff. It's like, no, I'm just really great at what I do, and I know it because I've worked since I was 5 and 6 years old for this goal. And I don't know, I've never really felt the like need to hide that per se, and it's definitely come across as like cocky and intimidating to some people and stuff like that. And most of the people I meet actually in the sport will tell me, oh my gosh, you're completely different than what I expected. And it's because I think what I show in play and like maybe on social media when I was more active on it in my college career was like, hey, I know I'm good and I believe I'm good, and I'm not gonna like let people put me down because they see that, I guess, if that makes sense. And so it definitely like almost in a way actually created a brand for myself from like freshman year of college, of being like, I know I'm good and I'm gonna work for everything I have, but I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna earn it. I'm not gonna let anyone stand in my way. And I think that's kind of how people really started to like me as a person, not just a player. And my presence on social media has been like, I'm very comfortable in my own skin.
Right.
And I mean, in sports, in just life in general, in like knowledge and stuff like that. And so, but I mean, that is something that you don't always see in women and females. And I get a lot of, I'm sure you do too, all the time, a lot of messages of like, how do you have this confidence? How are you, like, how do you hold yourself so well? And it's just like, it's in my blood. Like this.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I just feel like that's something that all of us continuously like work for, and you're just so good at just like knowing it. And we'll talk like later about times maybe that you didn't feel that way, but it's like, how? Like, how can you do that?
How can you like not feel that way, or how can
No, like how can you, and maybe always isn't the best term, because it's like we're always working, like that's just life, but it's like you're so good at like knowing who you are.
Yeah. It's gotta stem from like the whole childhood thing and like growing up, and even in high school, it's like I wasn't, you know, you would know this, we're 8 feet taller than everyone else growing up. We look different, we behave differently, we carry ourselves differently. I was always the smartest in my class. I had a lot.
And you pause. And I want you to get right back on track, and I'm so sorry, but I need y'all to know, like, she is so smart that, like, sometimes I'm like, hello? But and not in as in, like, you wouldn't know it because, like, she's obviously, like, intelligent, but just, like, literally, like, school things. Is it math? Math's the one that I'm not great at all. So it's like whenever she, like, says something, sometimes I'm like, huh? Anyway, we need to insert some pictures of, like, you being studious or something. Yes. Anyway, continue.
P scores.
Yeah. Growing up, too, like, it's just so hard, like, whenever you are different. And it's, like, not even that when you look different, like, when you behave. I love that you said the word behave differently because it's, like, when you have something that you know you want. And in, like, the softball community, I feel like it's, like, you're 7, you're like, I want to play college softball. You know, and now it's like softball is a business where it's like, if this is something you want, you need to chase after it. So it's like you are starting to behave differently at such a young age, which I know that can contribute to your mentality, which I'll let you continue, but I had to let the people know how smart and genius you are. But
I'm thinking like middle school and high school, even elementary school, like I had friends. I had a good group of friends. My mom loves to say I'm a one friend person. So like I'll have my one friend and I'll stick with them and I'll like be around people, but I'm like surprisingly very introverted, even though I like come off as extroverted. That's a whole thing about me too and my personality. But I was never like it girl, I guess you could say. In my own way, in my life, in my eyes, I was the it girl because I was the it girl in my own story.
That's part of it, though. It's like, how do you get to be the it girl in your own story, even if it's not? Like, especially the middle school, high school age, where it's like everybody wants to be the it girl, and like most people are like, oh, I'm not that, and want to be that, but like you're like, I don't care whose story, but this is my story. I am the it girl. Yeah, that's special.
Absolutely. And like looking back at high school, like I'm sure I'm the villain in someone's story, or I'm the, like, you know how that saying goes, but like in my story, it was always about something bigger, and like I missed out on a lot of stuff, made a ton of sacrifices. In the moment, it was huge and like earth shattering, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to like make a decision like this at 15. But now it's like, look at us. Yeah. Look at us.
Seriously.
Okay, we missed what? Homecoming? Yeah. We missed homecoming. Now look at us.
Well, I feel like me and Drew talk about that sometimes, where it's like every time that we ever sacrifice something, it's not like I would never go back and be like, oh, I wish I would have switched it. Yeah. Where it's like, oh no, thank goodness we did that, because like, honestly, even if it didn't work out, it was like, well, I gave my all to something, so it's like, what, am I going to regret giving 100% towards something? Yeah. Probably not. Right. But one thing I think is just so cool that I want everybody to know about you is like, while you are the it girl in your story, and you're the it girl in a lot of people's, you're the it girl in my story, but it's like, you are still like so humble, and it's like whatever you see on social media, and you do a good job of literally just everything, but like the version of you that I get to see is like, you're the it girl. Everybody knows you're the it girl, but it's also like you're still working, and you're very humble still. It's always like, today at practice, I'm going to watch you. And before we sat down, you said, Montana, you're going to have to pull me out of practice. It's like working on things that you want to get better at, and like still having a standard of like excellence in all that you do. But it's like, I'm confident. I know I can get this done. Good luck pitching to me, but I'm also going to get better at this. And these are things I need to work on. Yeah. So it's like finding that balance. I feel like you're so good at it. Somebody that looks up to you. So many people look up to you for that reason of it girl, but it's like maybe they're a little bit shy and they are like, well, I'm not good enough. You feel like that sometimes. We all feel like that sometimes, where it's like, I have so much to work on. You do such a good job of balancing both. How?
Well, I think you can't have one without the other. Like, people are so good at what they do because they work so hard. And once you do it for a long enough time, every single day of your life, I mean, it's second nature. It's your behavior. And so I see a lot of things online about like, if you want to change something, you change your behavior. So like our behavior is, if you take a centimeter step off the mound wrong than what you wanted to, you feel that instantly because we've done it so many times, and like the muscle memory, and we know what everything feels like. We do it in our sleep. And so I know when I'm a centimeter off and I need to fix it. And it's usually like those physical things that I know, the tangibles. Yeah. I always know when something's off, and I'm never wrong. I haven't been wrong about that. I haven't, and I'm fairly confident to say that I won't be. Like we are so in tune with our bodies, and sometimes like that comes with that, the missing piece is like the mind, and that's a whole, I'm sure we will get to that, but like we're so in tune with our bodies. We know exactly what we need, how we need to do it, how we need to approach certain situations, and like there is no hitting a walk-off grand slam without all of the thousands of millions of reps that go into it beforehand. Like I remember making a video one time talking about my walk-off grand slam in the SEC tournament, and a lot of people asked me like, how were you able to remain focused the whole game? You know, you get intentionally walked the whole game, and it's like, do you know how many nights I stayed up dreaming about the bases being loaded? I'm up. I didn't learn about intentional walks yet. That wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah,
but it's
wasn't
like
a thing.
those are the things you dream about. I'm literally getting chills sitting here thinking about it at night. Like when I couldn't sleep, I was dreaming about those scenarios, wanting to be in that situation, wanting to be the one that was able to do it for my team. And so I was in a way prepared for that moment just because it has been a part of my life for so long. And again, it goes back to like the childhood and just being so focused and being just a dreamer. I dreamed so big. Still to this day, I dream so big. And if someone were to sit there and look at my eyes and say, that's not going to happen, I will laugh in your face. Because again, look at us.
And it's
look
not
at
your
the field
story.
we're sitting on. Right.
Not your story. It's your story.
Right.
It's my story. Like it is what you make it. And I feel like your behavior, like I love, and I don't even know if I've really thought mind to body kind of thing, but like behaviors impact that so much. And like I can see you doing that every day, just in like whether you're injured, whether it's things aren't going your way, like what are the behaviors that you're doing consistently? What are minor things that maybe you want to change? What are things that you feel like the scale is as big as you want to make it, but it's your story, and ultimately like who cares what people say? It's just like, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, and you're going to like it or you won't. And this is what I'm going to be in my story because it's mine. Yeah. And that's something that I feel like I love and cherish so much about you, because that's what people don't know. And you said it a little bit earlier, but like while a lot of people see this, they don't get to see like what's in here and like that introverted side of you that's like very, you're an empath, you love deeply. And I feel like that like is a big reason on why you're so successful, is because like, yes, you love people like that, but you love process. You love the difficult times. You love like coming out the other side of it, which I feel like is so inspiring to me too. And I've not really, haven't had time. We've been really busy. We've been really busy. We get to have girl time later today, but it's like to be able to like really tell you like how inspiring that is to see you like go through things and still have the biggest heart I've ever seen and like still continue to love. So it's like, is that second nature to you, or is like, have you ever really had to like work on that side of things?
I don't know that I had to. I think what I had to do this past year has been like get back to that part of me, because it felt like it got to a point where when you taste success and you get a taste of greatness and what it's like to be the greatest player in the country, it's like you never want to settle for anything less than that ever again. Yeah. And when you do, and you're in the public eye, it hurts and it stings. And things for me tended to get a little bit robotic because, like I said earlier, the whole physical piece of I can feel this is off and I'm right. And I was right. Things were physically off. But I was so robotic in the physical aspect of it.
Obsessed with it.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Obsessed, you guys. That the other half of it, the like, you know, the teeter-totter, was I was so far up here that this one was completely in the ground. So like, I don't even remember what your question was, but it was like,
keep going.
Getting back to, the empathy and like the heart. I had to get back to like, it was to the point where I hated softball. I hated it. And I even had those moments in the greatest season of my life. I hated it. And people always say, know your why. Know like, why is it that you do what you do? And it's like, okay, I do what I do because I genuinely love what I do. I love the feeling of the dirt underneath my shoes. I love just looking around. This atmosphere is everything to me. Like, I truly belong on a softball field. You could not stick me in an office cubicle working a 9 to 5. You just couldn't.
Good luck.
Right, good luck. And so, oh my gosh, what was it? Oh, my love like for the game and my love for problem solving. Every single pitch, you've got a problem and it's a puzzle. How are you going to solve it? How are you going to take the information from the pitch before, the game before, the, whatever it might be, where you've already faced this pitcher? Because they're taking notes on every single move you make. Every single move you make. If you make a face at a pitch, they know exactly what that means. And so how are you going to use that information, but not too much, to go into the next pitch?
Yeah.
It's like finding the balance, the perfect balance of everything. And I say perfect, but it's never going to be perfect. And that's
just not getting too high, too low.
Right.
Yeah.
It's never going to be perfect, but that's what makes it so fun. Because now take this one with a grain of salt. If I hit a home run every single time I swung the bat, it would get a little bit boring. Now, my goodness, do I want to do that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every time I get in the box, am I planning to, hit a ground ball? No. I get up there and I, swing with intent to do damage. That's always been my thing, is when I'm in the box, it's me versus you, and I'm going to win every single time. Mm-hmm. And what was I even talking about?
I don't know, but I have so many questions I want to ask you, because you're saying so many good things that
I'm
it's
like getting off on tangents.
No, I love it. Okay.
Get back. So the heart and love for the game.
Talk, because people don't know that version of you, where it's like there's so much love in there, and like just because there is like competitiveness and like gritty and just like can come up, mine might look like anger, I don't know, so I don't know what it is, but it's like that is love, like not only love for softball and love for my teammates, but it's like loving literally the dirt underneath your shoes. I love that you say that, because it's so true. You said it and I was like, I'm love it. I love that.
I know.
But it's like, I love being here, and I feel like a lot of what you're saying is like loving the process that it takes and the puzzle.
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot this season within our team, is like figuring out the puzzle with at bats, with different pitchers, with hitters, like the puzzle within our team, whatever it is. So it's like figuring out the puzzle for you of balancing like, or going all in with your heart and that obsession in the process. Like, what is maybe a couple key things that you think helps you figure out that puzzle?
So I think one point I want to make about the like obsession piece is because it is an obsession, and you do have to be a little bit crazy to do what we do. Mm-hmm. You got to be a perfectionist in a way, because you have to have that high standard for yourself that's close to perfection, but just maybe a sliver underneath, knowing that you're still human and you will make mistakes. What was I even going to say?
It's like that obsession piece.
Obsession. So you have to be a little bit obsessed to do what we do.
A little crazy.
You have to be a little bit crazy to do what we do. That comes along with it. Oh my gosh, I was going to say something. Can you retrack your steps
your
really fast?
heart and like that, figuring out the pieces of the puzzle for you, like the balance.
The obsession and like the buy-in to that obsession. Because there are going to be days when nothing's working out for you. A lot of days, especially at this level. A lot of times it's going to feel like, wow, they've got my number today. Yeah. And it's hard. You have to buy into something. And not only, it's not just like a buy-in like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. You have to absolutely sell out. So something in my career that I almost use like a tangible that I can always refer back to if I'm like, I don't know, I think of this moment. And I was playing for Arkansas. We were playing LSU. The first game of the series, we were both ranked top 10. It was like a huge series. We were facing this really dominant pitcher. She was a drop ball pitcher, threw like a 72 drop ball, and she had, I think, an off-speed rise ball or something at like 65. Yeah. That's tricky.
Yeah,
that tricky. Combination is really tricky. Because for me in my swing, I have to sell out for the drop ball and to like get underneath it and make it go where I want to go, basically. Because if you don't, and you're kind of like, I don't know, let's just do it, it's going to be ground ball every time. Right. Am I a ground ball hitter? No. Can be, but no, I don't want to be.
That's not the goal.
Right. And so I was in a 3-2 count, which if you don't know, like in a 2-strike count, you want to be a little bit later so that you don't get fooled on an off speed and that like you're making the right pitch decision. And so I wanted to be a little bit later, but it's like you can't be late on a drop ball. That's 72 hard. Miles an hour inside. And I was like, you know what? If right here in this pitch, if she throws me a changeup and I swing and miss, oh well. Because I have to completely sell out and completely buy in to my plan here. And my plan was I'm just going for it. I'm going for the drop ball. Hopefully she throws it. I don't know if she's going to throw it. I can't control that, but that's what I'm swinging at. That's what
control
I'm going
what you
for.
Control.
Right. And sure enough, what happened? I got the 72 drop ball at my shins, and I think I cleared it to the parking lot. I hit it so far. It set the tone for the series. We take the series. It was like this huge thing. I didn't get pitched to the rest of the time. I was walked. And so that's one of those things of where you can be so obsessed and you can know what you need to do. It's one thing to understand and know. It's another thing to actually do it. And that's the hardest part of the entire game, is to push your feelings to the side, push your anxiety to the side, and be like, here's where I am. I'm in the box. I'm in a 3-2 count. This is a drop ball pitcher, and I'm going to hit the drop ball. If she throws the changeup, I'm going to do my very best to foul it off, and I'll probably look stupid, but I'm selling out for this pitch. And to this day, that can still be something I struggle with. That's probably the main struggle of most hitters, is being okay with missing a pitch to get the one that you wanted. That's been something that I've been working on this year, is like, okay, if she's, dicing me up with the inside, it's like, okay, she can have that pitch. Can she throw it 3 times in a row perfectly spotted and I don't swing at it at all? No, that's not going to happen. I will make an adjustment, but like, she can have the first 2 and I'm looking for what I want. And I know I just went off on a huge tangent.
No, I'm so interested now because you said something about like your thoughts and feelings before the LSU and Arkansas is like, you don't really know what the other person's going to do, but you decided to make the mental adjustment of like, I can't control what she does, I can control what I do, and if it doesn't work, whatever. But people don't get to see that. They don't see that. They see
it's
you
like taking a risk. That
taking
swing
a risk for reward, because like you after that don't get pitched to, you get walked. But like going up to that bat, you don't know what's coming. You could ground out. You could look like a fool on a changeup. But it's like people don't see like the what ifs that you're running through your brain. And that is like the hardest part, I feel like, about what we do, especially as a hitter. Obviously, I'm not a hitter, but like I have the pitcher brain on the other side of that, where the pitcher's probably like, dang, probably should have thrown the changeup, or like a little bit further here. And it's like making those adjustments. But it's like you set the tone. You said that for the whole series, but you did so not in the swing, but the mental side of it. You decided, like, I don't care what she does. My story, like, I'm going to do it right here with this swing. And it's like, if it doesn't work, I'll get it the next one. So I think that is so huge in the hitting piece, and that people ask all the time. It's like, especially with somebody so successful as you, it's like they're not seeing the work that goes in to the mentality piece of saying, you know what, this is my plan. So I guess, like, when did you start making the plans, and like what keeps you bought in on that plan?
I know exactly. It was junior year. I transferred to Arkansas. I knew that I was a great hitter at Auburn, but I was missing something. I felt like the All-Americans had an edge and a piece of the puzzle or something that I didn't have. And I didn't know what it was yet. And I thought I had plans, but they weren't like refined enough and as sophisticated as I wanted them to be.
Can you give a definition about a plan as well?
A plan, okay, so that would be, we'll stay on the like drop ball. No, we'll do this. Okay, so a pitcher has a drop ball and a rise ball. You got to pick one. You can't have both. So like,
why?
Because it's, when they're throwing that fast, it's like almost physically impossible. Now there are obviously people that do it, but it's close to impossible to be able to hit the ball up here and the ball down here as they're breaking away from each other.
And the same at bat.
Yes. And now it can flip pitch to pitch.
Right.
And you as a pitcher know that, because it's like, okay, what is she sitting here? Because it's like the amount, this is so much fun. We've never like had a conversation.
No, I know.
Like
that's
this.
what I'm like, all right, tell me more.
It's like the amount that you are trying to read what's in my brain as I'm in the box, I'm trying to read your brain too. So it's like, say, which you do, you can split the vertical plane. And it's like, if Montana Fouts is pitching to you and she's throwing 73, a rise ball up here and a drop ball right here, and they're both for a strike, you're not going to be able to hit both of them.
You have to have a plan before you go in there, which one you want.
Of which one you want. And then when say you're sitting rise ball, when the rise ball does come, it's like, okay, then it has to be, because you can throw it for a ball to get a chase, but you can also throw it for a strike. It's like, okay, now it needs to be like, I don't know. I like to pick like visuals. So like if it starts at her belt, it's going to be the rise ball to a strike. If it starts a little bit higher, it's just going to keep going. So like then that's the next piece of, I use visual because I'm a visual learner.
Right.
So visual, where's the kind of circle or vision for where the pitch is. So I set a little vision spot for myself. And then window is the word.
Right.
I set a window for myself, and then it's timing. Okay, well, I know her, and this is from watching film. I know her rise ball is, I don't know what, it's like in the 70s, so like it's hard, so I have to be on time. But she also has an off speed. So it's like, okay, my plan is I'm selling out for the rise ball in this window for a strike, and I'm going to be on time for 75 because it's coming up, so it's going to be a little bit faster, and I have to get on top of it, or else it'll just go straight up in the air. So that sounds really, like it happens really fast in my brain, and it's also like you come up with that stuff the night before watching film and you write it down. The beauty of writing things down, because you can't just, it's a lot going on up here if you can't tell.
On.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Gosh.
Dip, dodge.
Oh, man. That was close.
Like your life just flashed before your
Yes.
eyes. Okay.
But I'm still locked in on this
No,
plan
we're locked
I'm making.
in.
My imaginary at bat off
She's
month in of
pretending.
Fouts.
I was about to say, we're on the same team.
I'm,
just
by
so
the way,
everybody
I'm
knows.
letting her know what I...
Okay, look,
not
this is
sitting
me
rise
writing
ball.
stuff down. Sitting rise ball.
But another thing is like, okay, she beats me on the rise ball, on the pitch that I wanted to hit. So my plan fails. First pitch.
Then what?
Then what? Okay, maybe do I want to switch to drop ball? Because maybe she's, she sees I'm going for that pitch. Maybe she's going to try and bait me to swing and miss. Well, it's like, okay, now I'm just going to cut out the rise ball completely. Now I'm going for that drop ball.
Okay.
But then it's like, okay, well, she also has an off speed that kind of looks the same. So it's really, guys, that is so much fun. I have chills talking about it. It's the game within the game that our legendary GM coach, Lisa Fernandez, loves to preach. But I know you asked me when I started to make plans like this.
No, I want you
I used to go
tell
up
me,
to the box and
what-
just swing.
I was about to say, isn't that crazy?
I did.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Like how the game evolves. I just want to know, I have so many questions. Oh my gosh, let me get my brain right. All right. When, because I'm not a hitter.
Yeah.
I am in control,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Maybe not every pitcher feels this way, but I have a feeling, especially at this level, I'm in control. Even if you beat me, I'm in control of what I throw you.
Yeah.
You're not in control of what you get.
I don't know what's coming.
You don't know what's coming. I do. So it's what happens? Maybe let's just say you failed that at bat.
Yeah.
Your plan was wrong.
Yeah.
What is the adjustment mentally? Because you get 3 to 4 a game.
You're not even. Yeah.
Not even. So
2
it's
and a half.
how do you do that to be successful? Not just physically, because mentally, I feel that would be a lot of guessing what's coming, or
Yeah.
even if you're not facing a pitcher that is splitting the zone or whatever, maybe it's just in and out. Maybe you're 12 and she's throwing a fastball and a changeup. It's how do you make the adjustment to the next at bat?
Yeah. So you have to think back to the information you logged away in that at bat. So every pitch that's thrown, whether you're on defense, whether you're the pitcher or you're the hitter, whatever it is, you have to take that in as information. And this is very advanced, but I also think that we were kind of doing this when we were younger and didn't realize it.
Right.
And that's why we were able to become so good, because we could naturally adjust because we were so competitive and we always wanted to win and beat blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So when you fail or your plan doesn't work, it's okay, first off, you got to handle your emotions. You got to you're okay with getting out because your plan didn't work. Okay, that was plan A. What's plan B? And the faster that you can switch from plan A to plan B and skip the, oh my gosh, I just got out. I just messed up a huge moment for my team. Oh my gosh, my batting average. Or, oh no, I was supposed to go 3 for 3 and my dad's in the stands and I made a match. The sooner you can skip that part and just go straight from, okay, well, plan A didn't work. What's plan B? That's a very professional way of thinking, and that's why the two of us are sitting in these chairs right now. It's because we cut the emotion out and we get very technical and, okay, what now? So what? That happened. Now what? What's the next move? It's like a game of chess. What's the next move? So plan A doesn't work. Say I strike out on the rise ball and I'm chasing stuff. And it's okay, I need to reel it back in a little bit. Maybe I was too aggressive that at bat. Maybe the umpire is calling a pitch that I think's out of the zone, but he thinks is a strike. So it's okay, well, the facts in front of me are that's a strike in the game. It has to be a strike for me. maybe I don't want to hit it. So it's like, okay, I'll go to her curveball or her drop ball. And then you have to refine kind of your vision, or that's how I do it and how I see it in my brain. I refine my vision. Okay, well, it was here, now I'm looking here. And whatever she throws me over here is just kind of junk to play with me. I don't care. She can have it until 2 strikes, of course. She can have it, and I'm looking for this pitch right here. I'm going to be on time for it. And yeah, those are the things you can control in that bat are you're on time for the pitch because you know how hard it's going to be, and you like have a clear vision of what you're hunting and looking for, and it's that curveball right there. And so that's like plan A was here, now plan B is here. Say that doesn't work, it's like, okay, well, plan C, which is more times than not you're going to have to go to plan C, D, E. Like the higher up you get, the quicker and more plans you're going to have. And again, these are all developed the night before. Like you're not
overthinking this process.
I'm not overthinking in the moment.
I know it sounds like a lot of overthinking.
It does.
But like this is honestly like something that you're doing before we play lots of games. You've been doing it for a long time, and we'll get back to that. But it's like you are trained not only in the physical aspects, but like mentally you are trained to, this is my plan. If this doesn't work, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Move on in that at bat.
Yeah.
And then it's like you're trained, okay, with 2 strikes, screw the plan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get on base.
Right.
Or it's like, and then I also have the background of what she throws.
Yes.
So it's like being able to have a bank of information, empty half the tank, and then keep some of it. I know it sounds like a lot, but like you've been doing this for such a long time.
And it's so much fun.
And it's so much fun. It's like that's what is enjoying the process.
Yes.
Right? Like that's just like the process is this huge field, and like this is like the tank of information that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like it's just huge. So I think like that's what's so interesting to me is just like being able to like store all of that, flush it, 2 strikes, bases loaded, and it's like bring it on, babe. It's like that competitive edge that I want to get back to, because I had never really, I feel like, had the opportunity as a hitter, because I stopped hitting really before I started playing collegiate softball. So when you're playing travel ball, I feel like a lot of times you don't realize you're doing it. Maybe you're going in with the plan. I don't remember it. I had great coaches growing up, but I was not at this level as a hitter. So it's like you're going to Arkansas and you realize you just need to do something a little bit different to have that little step up.
Yeah. And so like learning how to, because when you get to college, you're going to have really smart coaches, and we get a lot of information. There's so much technology, or they know what a pitcher's going to throw and what count before the game even starts. There's so much technology. It's crazy. But it's like, do I need to be thinking that? No, absolutely not. If it's a 3-2 count and on the paper it says, oh, she's going to go change up and she goes rise ball, so what? I still got to find a way to either foul it off or hit it or whatever. So like getting to college, having to take the next step of maturity in, okay, they're throwing all of this at me. What do I actually need and use in my at-bat? And so what I like for myself is speeds. I like to know the speed of each pitch. I like to know if she has 2 speeds, 3 speeds, maybe 4 speeds if she's crazy. I don't know. But I like to know ways that the pitcher wants to get me out.
Yeah.
And it kind of gave me a mindset shift too. Once I like reached the maturity level to understand that, I had a mindset shift of just trying to get on or trying to hit home runs or whatever it is to refusing to fail. Not refusing to fail, refusing to be beaten by the pitcher. And a way that I like to think is when I'm in the box, maybe I do get out and maybe she does beat me, but I never lose because it's all information at the end of the day.
Right.
So yeah, maybe I messed up, maybe my timing was off or I made a bad pitch decision. So what? Like I take that information and I use it for my next plan, like we were just talking about. But
that's such a good quote, because I feel like that applies to literally everything and anything physically possible in life, in softball, all the things. Like I think oh my gosh, it's either Kobe or Michael Jordan where it was like, you don't fail, you either succeed or you learn. Same thing, like, and it can be like within a game or within certain at-bats. Yeah,
totally. And that's like, it's like a very mature way of thinking, but once you get there, that's when you level up. People always ask, what does it take to get to the next level? Like, yeah, getting faster, stronger, whatever, but getting more mature and heightening your level of thinking. And because when you get to college, everyone's good. Maybe it's more like pro, everyone's good, but it's like everyone's at least elite, okay, or whatever. And so what are you going to have that's going to put you a step ahead of that pitcher? Like, I'm thinking about when I was a sophomore, I was at Auburn. She was at Alabama for 5th year.
Wait, let's go like this.
You. This is the cover. Did you hear me? I said I didn't mean to age you.
I didn't mean to age you. I'm like 2 years older than you.
I'm
whatever.
a sophomore. She was a 5th year.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I don't even know. But
I think I was. You're right.
Auburn goes to play Alabama at Alabama. Huge deal, rivalry
Blah, 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 yeah.
Game, whatever. Also, it was Montana Fouts bobblehead day the Friday night. Didn't it get rained out? Didn't bobblehead day get rained out?
Dang it.
And then do you remember when some of each team went into left field and started having a dance?
And this was
party?
me in the dugout.
This was me going, what are they doing?
Get in here.
And now we're on the same team.
Now look at us.
We went from opposing dugouts to saying.
What did you say earlier? Enemies to lovers?
Enemies to lovers. It's like a book thing.
Yeah.
It's a trope.
And that's our book cover. Okay. Anyway, back to Tuscaloosa bobblehead night.
Rivals to whatever. We'll figure that out. Okay, so.
That's in our book.
So basically, my experience having to hit off Montana Fouts is this was the fastest pitch I had ever seen thrown in my life. Because not only is she throwing, you were humming it in like 72, rise ball, which the higher the pitch, the faster it feels. Y'all don't know about EV yet, effective velocity, but you will. You will. She's so tall, her legs are so long, she's like this far out of the circle when she's coming to throw the ball. So she's right in front of your face, then boom, it's 72. So she's like cutting the distance and humming that thing in there. It is a lot harder than you would ever think it would to hit off an elite pitcher. Trust me when I say that. So this is the fastest pitch I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, okay, well, what the heck do I do? Like I said, there wasn't really much of a plan. I knew you threw a rise ball. Didn't know you threw a drop ball. Did not.
You said had no plan.
Had no plan going into face Montana Fouts. And so I remember having to swing at the rise ball when it was like, still like 10 feet away from me. And I was yanking that thing over there because I just had to make a decision. I just had to go. There was no decision making. I was just like, here we go. Let's go. Let's see. And I think I got out every single time. And then.
Well.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then, which we're allowed to have this conversation, guys. I'm allowed to talk about this one at bat with Montana.
We are. We've talked about it recently. It's fine. It's cleared.
We're not. This isn't hateful. This is like true. Like
this is real things. This is facts.
And I like using you because you're right here. This is your audience, and so they want to know what it's like to hit off legend. So it was crazy. It was crazy, and I was not successful with it. And then I think you also like had a really good changeup that day. Sometimes pitchers, they're just gonna have stuff, and you're like, I didn't see this on film, and that was what it was like hitting off Montana. I was like, I didn't know she had a changeup. I didn't know she had a drop ball. I only thought she had a 700-mile-an-hour rise ball at my face.
But you were like, this is my story, so be about ready to be a part of it.
I was like, I don't know how this is going to work, but it's going to work.
It's going to work.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then, guys, when I say, it was in the other batter's box.
And it was also runners at second and third.
Second and third. I was like on my toes, butt out, just stuck my bat out there.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she's going to throw me this whatever pitch it is low and away, and I'm just going to have to touch it.
But like, that's just like feel. I feel like you had feel. You were like, she's going to do it. And like, my interpretation of this is like, I also have film, right? So it's like, when you're ahead in the count as a pitcher, right, it's 0-2-1-2, which it was.
Yeah.
It was 1-2, I believe. But you don't want to throw All-American, Bri's the hitter on the team that you circle in the lineup. It's like, she's not going to beat me because we already know she's good. We already know what she can do, right? So it's like, you circle this one, runners at second and third, you're either going to put her on or you got to step up to the plate, literally. Anyway, so it's in the other batter's box because I was like, I'm not throwing, still, obviously, too close. Apparently too close for a 1-2 count.
I'm telling you.
Anyway, they win. And
because I stuck my bat out like this. And sometimes, you guys.
And it just works. It works for you.
The pitcher, she's going to invent 3 new pitches that day that weren't on the film before. She's going to have the best game. Well, you're not going to say it was the best game.
No, obviously.
Had my number the whole week. And I was like, well, something's got to give. I have to do something here. I can't just continue to pop the ball up or strike out on a pitch this far above my head. So it's like, you know what? I'm just going to poke a ball right over second baseman's head. And I think it was like a line drive to center field, like a low
Yeah,
one.
it was like a
dropped.
line
I think,
drive.
like 2 runs
She's
scored.
acting like it wasn't a line drive, and it clearly was.
Because it was, I mean, we're going to have to revisit the video.
Yeah, I'm going to revisit because I remember it coming off the bat a lot harder than that. But I also want to ask, because I'm just curious, like when you are in the box,
Yeah.
are you just thinking, like in game situations, are you making physical adjustments or are you like poking it? Like what does that process look like when you're not doing what you want to do?
Really good question.
Yeah,
She's
right?
asking the right questions. Okay, so you don't want to think too much. How about this? When I'm in the box, I'm not thinking physical. I'm
Okay.
thinking, when am I starting my load? What pitch am I swinging at? That's when I'm in the box and there's actively a ball coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
When I take a foot out of the box and I'm taking my breath, thinking about what I'm going to do, that's when I'm like, okay, Montana's throwing a rise ball above my head. Either, look, you lay off of it, or you got to get your hands up there and get on top. I think of that. But then when both feet are in the box, cut.
And there's 15 seconds in between. So like this is like in
No,
and out, in and out.
7 for me.
You've got 7, you're right.
7. Oh my gosh, that's a whole
Look
other
at you,
thing.
you're so
That's
awesome.
another adjustment that I didn't really think about going into this.
Yeah.
Was like, you gotta go.
You got to go, and there's no time to be like, oh.
There's
You have
no
the
time for
buy-in.
panic. Yes.
The buy-in is what you're talking about, and
Yes.
it's not just in like plan, but it's also like I'm going to be bought in on what I've put this work into. Like
Yeah.
that's why we work so hard, and I feel like we talk about it all the time. It's like people are like, how do you play so free? How can you make those adjustments so quick? It's like, well, that's what the work is beforehand.
Yeah.
That's the pre-game prep that you do before. It's like making those physical adjustments so that way you don't have to do it in a game and you're just letting loose.
Yeah. My favorite thing to say in college was, because I remember at Arkansas, practices were hard in the way that like they'd have 3 different machines set up and they would like hide, which, now this is an exaggeration, it was 2 machines, but like they would both put the ball down at the same time, and like you don't know like they just made it as hard as possible, truly. And I would be in practice so angry. I'd be like, oh my gosh, here we go. Like,
You're like,
here I go, I can't hit again. Time to hang up the cleats. Here we go.
give it up.
And it's like, no, Brianna, how do I phrase this? You don't have fun during the week so that you can have fun on the weekend. And that kind of goes for anything in life. You get your work done, you do what needs to be done, and then you can do your thing on the weekend.
But you also enjoyed the work.
Of course. But
Yeah.
it's like, in the moment, it's like,
You
man,
make it
this
hard.
sucks.
You make it hard
This
though.
sucks.
You make it hard
Yes.
in practice so that way the game's a little bit easier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when you're doing the thinking, is in practice. You're thinking, okay, I need to get my hands above this ball. That's when you're planning your adjustments and what you're going to make. And then it's like you're filing them away in your little filing cabinet.
Yeah.
And then you're sifting through when it comes time to the Cynthia Erivo.
What? What? I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, anyway.
I'm like 2 steps ahead of her when it
You
comes to like,
are.
memes and stuff,
Seriously.
so. But
No, your filing cabinet.
my filing cabinet, and then it's like, okay, tabs under the ball. Okay, well, was it a rise ball? Was it a change up? But it's like, okay, that's literally the way that I think
look,
of it.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, I literally can see. I'm not
like
joking.
I said earlier, you gotta be a little bit crazy. To
She
do
goes
what we do.
literally, she'll go, whatever. I'm not joking you. We have to find this somewhere. She'll go, whatever.
Whatever. No, I literally had to say that to myself, and I say it out loud when I'm like not hitting, because I want people to know the same thing. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, umpire called a pitch up here, whatever.
Yeah. What are you going to do
So
about it?
that's why you get 3.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
Or
You're
if that
gonna
was
get
the
back up
3rd,
there.
then you get another at bat. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Perfect. Sorry. This is so good because I don't care what we talk about, but we're going to talk about this because we've never talked about this.
I'm also really glad that we got to talk about
Me too.
facing the, like, Auburn, Alabama,
We
facing you. We don't talk about that enough.
We literally talked about the situation for less than 20 seconds, less than 15 seconds,
Well, because
2 days ago.
Because we did.
but we didn't go into depth.
No.
We need to start going in depth more because
Let's go rewatch that film.
I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun for me. Okay,
Because we
anyway,
won the series, so.
if you guys don't know this, and they all do, they all know this, and I have to read it because like my brain's not great with numbers and they're pretty high. So in your 2020 but blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Your 2020. Okay, whatever. Your season at Arkansas. Your
Whatever.
senior year. Whatever. Exactly. You hit 440 with. Making sure I see
It
this
was
right.
much better in regular season.
Okay, anyway,
Postseason
like
doesn't
that's
count.
not almost okay, girl, get out of here. With 26 home runs, 72 RBIs, and set multiple single season program records as well as NCAA and SEC records. Yeah, like at what point did you realize that you were in the middle of something?
Oh my gosh.
Special.
Well, my first at bat of the entire season was a home run.
Was it really?
Yeah. Which, again, sets the tone.
Was in February.
Yeah.
Setting the tone.
Set the tone. I love setting the tone.
What if you don't set the tone? Then what?
Whatever.
Whatever. Period. Okay, so if people don't know about these numbers, I mean, it's not quite 500, but we'll just pretend it is. It's literally like 2 hits off from 500. That's like if you get 10 at-bats and you're getting hits for 4 to 5 of them, which is pretty crazy because All-American is getting hits for 3 of the 10, which means you're getting out 7. But like going 4 out of 5 out of 10 is pretty crazy in the competition that you're playing.
Also, like, I wasn't, out of those 10 times, how many times did I actually get pitched to
Correct.
instead of just put on?
Right. Or pitched around.
Yeah.
So as, like at a certain point, I'm sure that you came across like, okay, they're clearly not pitching to me. So it's like, if the pitch is kind of close, I'm going to do some damage. Like you said, that's your mentality. Like, how can I do damage with a
Yeah.
pitch that's not even in the strike zone?
Yeah. Great question.
Yeah. You're so good at those things.
Because this was a huge turning point in my career and like in my mentality. So my junior year, I was at Arkansas. We were in the SEC tournament playing Mizzou. It was a close game. We ended up losing, but I think there was like runners on first and second, or like first and third. There's 2 runners on, and I was trying to make something happen, but they weren't giving me anything. Mm-hmm. And what was I doing? I got myself out. I swung at a ball so far out of the zone, and I think I had 3 balls, and I swung at ball 4. Like, insane ball 4. Like, not even, like, it was close. Like, no.
Just
it
trying
was
to do everything you can.
ridiculous. But it's like, go to first. Walk. Take a walk. When I learned the beauty of taking a walk, that changed the entire game for me.
Okay. Why?
The entire game, because it's like I'm letting the game happen. I'm letting the game work itself out rather than trying to make something out of nothing. There was nothing there. They weren't going to pitch to me. And a lot of pitching coaches, you have to understand, want me to get myself out. Because they're watching film too. They saw all year that I was doing that.
Yeah.
In big situations like that, I wanted to be the hero. I wanted to be the one to, hit the home run and win the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes the biggest thing you can do is take ball 4 and get to first base so that the girl behind you can get the job done.
Yeah, because she can.
She can.
That's why she's there.
Right.
Right.
And there was, that haunted me the whole summer going into my senior season. Haunted me. I talked to Coach Deifel about it so many times, and like how I was going to start taking my walks. And like if I realize, understanding the situation where the runners are, what the game means, stuff like that, like they don't want me to swing the bat. They just want to put me on, and that's fine. And I'll take my base. I don't know how many walks. I definitely had more walks. I think I had more walks than I had RBIs last year.
That's pretty crazy.
It's insane.
That's
because
crazy.
I also set records with my RBIs.
Yeah.
So it's like,
period.
It was a lot. When I learned that balls were balls and strikes were strikes.
It sounds a lot easier than what it really is.
It sounds a lot easier.
Especially whenever you're like so determined to do something, and everybody, especially at that level, like wants to be the hero. There's definitely times in your career like where you're like, oh my gosh, just like put me on.
Yeah.
Like don't even let me swing the bat.
Hit me.
But it's like
hit me.
Please hit me.
Please hit me.
But it's like it's pretty crazy though that something so simple makes such a big difference in your whole career.
Yes.
And you're a professional saying this.
Still to this day, I think about it like, let it happen. Let the game happen. And it's not like, let the pitcher throw you, cupcakes and you're just
not in a
sitting there
passive
watching.
way.
No, you're not passive. But it's like, you have your plan. Again, it always comes back to the plan. In that plan, am I swinging at the ball 8 feet out of the zone? No. So like sticking to your plan and like refining that plan, that needs to include like, hey, they're trying to get you to get yourself out.
Yeah.
Don't just go. Like if it comes back to like refusing to refusing to be beaten, refusing to lose, refusing that stuff.
And I love the kind of the analogy of like you say when you're in the box, you're in the box. And when you take your foot up out of the box, then you can kind of like have those 7 seconds to think. It's like there is a box and then there's also a larger box.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like balls and strikes, and then it's a larger box in the plan of like this is what they're trying to do. So like being able to be receptive enough to like say they're not throwing me any strikes, so like I'm still going to be ready like if that comes, but it's like if it doesn't, like I'm going to take my base, which I think is literally the perfect segue to talk about literally like one of the most historic probably games ever that gets played all the time is your senior season in the SEC tournament, when they literally walk you. Was it 3 times
Three
before?
times.
And then in your fourth, they have no choice because the bases are loaded. So I just want you to actually walk me through that whole game.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
That was fun. Let's do it again.
So I remember everything. That's another thing. Is like the way that we talked about the Auburn, Alabama at-bat, that was one at-bat out of, I don't know how many at-bats I had that season.
And we remember
3
like
years
it was
ago.
yesterday.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
And oh my gosh, you remembered where the runners were.
Traumatic.
You remembered what my count was.
Yeah.
Like literally. So no, I remember my plan going into that. She was a lefty. I knew that she loved to go curve into righties, and I, in the past, had struggled with that because I wouldn't be able to get my barrel out there in time. And so I would get jammed, pop up, or like ground ball, whatever. So she had curveball, changeup mix. She also had like a rise ball and a few other things, but like that's the junk that.
Yeah.
See, I'm not even talking about it because it wasn't.
That's the whatever.
That was never in my plan. Was the rise ball or the changeup. Now the changeup maybe, but I never needed it. So I get in the box. I don't remember the specifics that much of the first 3 at bats. I didn't know I was getting intentionally walked. So I was in it. You can see in all my videos
the active takes.
The active takes. I'm like, I don't know this, and then I look and I see the catcher in the other box, and so I'm like, oh well, that's embarrassing. Like,
yeah, you're like, oh let me take a breath.
Right, let me calm down. So I realized they're walking me halfway through the first at bat, or maybe when I had 3 balls or whatever, and so I go to first. Whatever. What people don't understand is that the Georgia pitcher, not only is she a phenomenal pitcher, she was throwing a 1-hitter. She was throwing a no-hitter going into the 6th inning of that game. And the 1 hit she gave up was a home run to Courtney Day, and it was tied 1-1. So, like, she was, like, doing her thing up there and, like, you know, doing she's, like, so, like, what's it called where you like show your emotion, or she's so passionate, and like she was getting strikeout after strikeout, and like just
she was feeling herself.
She was feeling herself. She was on a roll. She like had all this going, and so I was like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do. So let me get on base, because first of all, there's nothing I can do. I get on base for my team. That's there's a big difference, and also it like kind of takes a shot at the pride of okay, put her on. So like that does kind of like change the energy a little bit. So I do that. I do what I can. And then I think third at bat I end up getting hit, so it wasn't really like intentional.
They were like, "Don't waste the 4 pitches,
just
hit her,
just go." But oh my gosh, so I get to first, whatever. 4th at bat, yeah, 4th at bat. So Courtney Day ends up tying the game with a home run,
which was 1-1.
Yeah,
and then
tie game at 1-1.
Is this in the 6th?
That was in the 6th that she tied the game.
Okay,
and then going into the 7th, we held them, whatever, it's our turn. We're at the bottom of our lineup.
In the 7th.
Yeah. They get on. I don't remember how they get on. I think we got like a few hits and like maybe a walk or an error or something like that. And
so there's some momentum. There's some build up here.
Some
she
momentum.
was throwing a 1-hitter.
She was throwing a 1-hitter.
So there's like, okay, like we're finally starting to figure it out.
It was all like by walk or error. I know there was 1 error. I don't remember when. And there must have been a walk, maybe 2 walks.
Okay.
But I was not supposed to come up that inning.
Yeah. They were like, not this one.
They were.
The circled name was like, hey,
go.
this girl does not need to be up in this inning.
And so
bottom 7th SEC tournament is some fields already.
At their home field.
At their
too.
home field.
It was loud. Oh, I love playing there because their fans are so loud. And yeah, so I go in. Also, that day I found out I was SEC Player of the Year. They were saying on TV that I was the National Player of the Year, but I didn't know it yet. So like all this stuff was coming out.
Yeah.
All eyes were on me. From off the bus to the field, they had cameras on me. It was the craziest thing I'd ever like been a part of, was that day at the tournament.
Yeah.
And so a lot of pressure, but for some reason it was oddly calm. I was calm, but also like, okay, it's like time to execute. And so I remember being on deck and being like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to get up to hit. I think I'm finally going to get up to hit. And I do, because that's right. The girl in front of me got on by error. And
Not a part of the plan.
Not a part of the plan at all. So I'm walking up to the plate and I'm like, well, here we go. I get this opportunity. Bases are loaded, bottom of the 7th, 1 out. We had just that morning watched the video of Lauren Chamberlain hitting a walk-off against Tennessee in the World Series. And I think it was in the championship series. And she kept saying to Holly Rowe in the post-game interview, I wasn't trying to be a hero. I was just trying to get a job done for my team, put the ball in play, do what I can. And so that's what I kept saying to myself. Okay, Bri, you're not trying to be a hero here. What's going on? What are the facts in front of us? Mm-hmm. Don't make it bigger than it is. And the facts were, she's a lefty, gonna throw it into me. I knew what she threw. I knew that she, her windup was pretty jerky, so it's gonna feel faster than it was. And I knew that I had 1 out, so I could just hit a pop-up to left field, and the game would be over. That was literally my plan, was to hit a deep fly ball to left field, and we all go home, whatever. First pitch was that curveball, but it was too low. And I had green light, so I was gonna swing, but I think it was too low. And if you look on the video, I'm a little late too. And I didn't wanna, like I said, I had that opportunity. I didn't wanna waste it with, a dumb swing decision or something. I wanted to be on time for my pitch and my plan.
And that's part of your plan always.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I knew I was gonna get it again. So my vision was centered. I knew I was gonna get the curveball coming into me, and I knew I had to be a little bit earlier to cut it off before it broke so that she didn't jam me. Mm-hmm. And that pitch, or next pitch, there it was. I got the pitch I was looking for and that I had planned on hitting the day before. So this all started the day before when we found out we were playing them. And I caught it before it broke, and it cleared the fence by a mile, it felt.
A lot.
And I remember going around the bases, and it was the coolest thing ever. It was dead silent because all the Georgia fans were there.
Which is honestly the best feeling whenever you're at their field. Anybody's home field, the silence is always a good thing.
And so I'm rounding the bases, and in that moment, I remember laughing a little bit, not laughing ha ha ha, but being oh my gosh, I just did that. I just did the thing that
You've always been
dreaming about to do my whole life. And then, I get to third base, and Coach Steifel's yes, all this stuff. And I get home, and I'm I remember saying, I was that's why they walk me. That's why they walk me. Because the one pitch I get, I'm going to do damage with it. And that's been my approach in the box. Every time I've gotten in that box since I was 6 years old, is I'm not getting in here to, yes, my plan was to hit a deep fly. That's doing a job for my team and executing. Mm-hmm. Every time I swing that bat, it's going far. The ball's going far. If I make contact with it, it's going far. I can't control that much.
Yeah.
And so it just, I don't know. It was man, it all worked out. I sold out. I bought in. Is that right? Yeah. Sell out. I bought into it. I trusted my plan. And you can tell that by seeing I didn't swing at the first pitch because it was a ball. It was close. It probably was a strike in our league now.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
So it's just staying focused in a moment it was a really big moment.
Yeah.
And it was almost like a career defining swing. That swing changed my entire life. I've gotten so many opportunities. I've met so many people. I have kind of made a living for myself off of that one swing alone because I trusted the process and I stuck to my plan, and it was my story and I was going to tell it the way I wanted to. And I felt from the first pitch of that game to the last, I was in the driver's seat. And another thing that's important about that game is, even though I am getting intentionally walked, my timing is perfect. Every single pitch. The catcher's in the other batter's box. My timing's perfect.
You didn't choose to be passive in those moments that you could have.
Correct. I was using those moments as an opportunity to like, okay, when I don't know for sure if there is going to be a moment, but it's like at some point there will be.
And you're going to be ready for it.
And I'm going to be ready for it because when the opportunity comes, I'm going to be ready to execute it. That's like the golden rule of softball is the opportunity will come. When it does, you're not rising to the occasion because you're already there. You're executing because you're ready for it. And that's exactly what I did. And I was on time. I did everything I wanted to do. Hoorah, yay, fun. Grand slam.
Yeah.
Coolest thing ever.
Okay. Which is like so awesome to hear you talk about and really go into detail about it. But I also want to talk about just a few days later, it felt like, whenever we became friends.
Yes.
I'll never forget National Player of the Year. I mean, like, I'm still young-ish. Like, I'm only 2 years older. I've only played. This is my first year as a Talon. Bri comes in. We're having the big breakfast where all the teams are in there, which is only 4 of us at the time. But the Talons are at their own tables. We've got Kim Ing is talking to us, and Bri comes in the middle, like off the private jet.
Off the plane, like
off
I'm
the private
carrying
jet.
my bags.
And with the trophy. I'm just kidding. She didn't. But she walks in, sits down, and it's just like, you know, like, we'll see. Like, we never expected to be friends. Like, again, like, the whole enemies things is kind of a joke, but not really. But because, like, I didn't know.
We were enemies.
In the moment, we were enemies. And, you know, you don't know what to expect. So it's like she comes in, and, like, I'll never, like, the first day, I remember talking to somebody, like, just about, like, how you're humble in the way that a professional should be humble, but it's like you would think that you're cocky and you're not. You are in the areas that you should be. And I just want to talk about you being humbled right after that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, you didn't need that because you already are humble, but it's like you went from such a high of like, I'm on top of the world, literally walk off Grand Slam, what I dream of, to then it's like, now I get to go do what I dream of being a professional softball player, but like, this is not going the way that I want it to at all.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not having the impact that I want to, or that I think that I'm not. Because it's like when you don't perform, like when you're such a competitor and you're not performing how you think that you should, you feel like you have no impact.
Yeah.
Which clearly you do. But it's like when you're in that headspace, and I felt like this before too, I just want to get how you come out of that and what's the process like when you're in that? Because you're somebody that is bought in, right? Like because you're bought in and because you're determined and because you're like whatever, you were able to hit that Grand Slam. Mm-hmm. But it's like literally weeks later, and you're just like completely different. Mm-hmm. But then what's so beautiful about that, and we'll get to that, is eventually you come right back out of it. Mm-hmm. But it's like in that moment of literally 2 weeks ago I was on top of the world. Now like, how do I even get here?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh my gosh. It was a lot. I just remember feeling like I didn't really know where I was or who I was for like the entire summer. And it was the weirdest thing. I'd never felt that before. I've had bad seasons, trust me. I have had seasons where I didn't like my performance, where my average sucked, where this, and that. But it was that on top of, I don't know who I am. I really don't even know the people I'm surrounded with right now. Like my world just got flipped upside down. I didn't get to say goodbye to my teammates. Like I only got to say goodbye to my coach because we were on the plane for the award ceremony.
Right.
And then I didn't even get to pack up my apartment. It was just boom, boom, boom. I'm on the 6 a.m. flight to Chicago, and I practiced that day. Like, it was insanity. And I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is kind of like I've always thought this about myself. I don't know if it's the truth, but like I feel like I don't like change at the time. And so all of this change was happening at once. I had nothing to fall back on. And that's a really important part of it, because it was always like, okay, well, when I wasn't, thriving in academics, I was thriving in softball. When I wasn't thriving in softball, I could go and, go to the lab and do something. I don't know. I was in engineering school.
There was always a plan B, like fallback plan.
There was always a plan B
for you emotionally.
Or like, I don't know, staying with my dog. If like those two aren't working, what's the third? Well, I didn't have any of the three. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It felt like the world was happening around me and I was just there.
Yeah.
And like just a shell of a human being. And I felt like I had zero piece of control over anything. And I like when things are done my way, when I want them done, how I want them done. And it was like, I had none of that. And so for the first time in my entire life, I had to sit back, let y'all perform, let y'all like, you know, do your thing and thrive. And I had to just kind of like swallow that little apple in your throat or whatever, swallow it and be like, okay, what can I do here? I mean, I'm here. I'm so grateful to be here. This is awesome. This is everything I dreamed of, except it's not, because it sucks and it's not going the way.
Me.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not me. And the great part about all of that is that I think Coach Lisa knew that wasn't me. And that's why I'm still here on this team. Thank goodness. And every day I'm so grateful for her and all that she's done for me. But that wasn't me. And I was trying desperately every single day, every single moment, to find myself again, to find my swing again, to find my confidence again, to find, you know, a passion. I bought a bunch of stuff from like Hobby Lobby one day and was like, started doing art stuff again because I did that in high school when I was bored. Like, just trying to find another piece to like escape to almost, because I was missing all three. So I'm trying to invent like a fourth for myself. And I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. And we won the championship. That was great. That honestly wasn't even the worst part. The talents, like I had my girls, I had my team. We had fun. We went to coffee shops, like shopping. We did everything under the sun. We made the most of our time. But it was when the All-Star Cup. The teams are changing every week.
And you're a little bit more isolated.
You're isolated. You see when you're picked. I was getting picked last every single time. I think I got 3 at-bats because they make the lineup. That was when it was really like, I hate this.
Which is so full circle, because we just talked about like at the beginning, like when you're younger, and it's like, I'm getting picked first, babe.
Yes.
I'm 6 foot tall and 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting it 400 feet at 7.
Yeah.
And then you're getting picked first for the dodgeball. But then it's like, I'm a pro and I'm exactly where I wanted to be my story, but I'm getting picked last.
Yeah.
But it's like, how did that completely reset and eventually get to where the very first game that you're playing here, you're hitting a home run this season?
Yeah.
Like setting the tone.
So the way the story worked out is, again, not like I thought, of course, because that's how it's going to go. And I thought when the season was over and I went home, I thought it was all going to go back to normal. I thought I was going to be great. I was going to take my time off. I was going to get back to lifting and like being more athletic, and then get back to my swing and break things down. But it just kind of like followed me, like this bubble I was in, and the anxiety, and I was still in the public eye, still had people sharing opinions and stuff about me, and I just cared about the wrong things at that point. So like, I had to get knocked down on my butt, and I would try and get back up, and I'd get pushed back down. Like, they were like, stay there. You need to stay there because you're caring about the wrong stuff right now. I was caring about stuff like what my batting average was. Because when you come off a season where you're hitting 500, and then you're hitting 100, it's like, well, what do I need to do to bring my average up here?
Yeah.
So it's like, I had to completely rewire my way of thinking. I cared what people were saying about me on Twitter.
Mistake number 1. Well, we all fall victim. We all fall victim.
Twitter's off my app. It's because I was getting so many nice things said about me
that you are accustomed to like
Yes.
reading that. That's why I literally think I'm so glad you said that. I think it's so important because I feel like I've done this before, where it's like after a good game, you're like, oh my gosh, like what do they have to say?
Yes.
Like it's like an adrenaline you get that there's positive things being said about you. And then like you have now trained your brain to go back after every game, and they're not always going to be great, babe. So it's like, now be ready for that part.
And it's like seeking out the outside validation. And so I had to get, slapped around, pushed around to find a way to get that validation back to like internal.
Right.
And back to where we were at the beginning of like, it's in my blood. Like, I'm confident, it's in my blood. I've always known that I can do this. There's just been some part of me, for some reason, that's always believed all along. And
even when it didn't feel like
even when it didn't feel like it, it was still there because I didn't quit. And that's proof number 1, is that I'm still playing softball, because that's how much I hated it. And I had to get back to, it's not even get back. It's like this was the first time the off season I had ever been away from softball. I didn't really like have a life out of softball. I didn't want a life out of softball. Like I was doing what I loved. And yeah, it's exhausting sometimes, but I would hate to be just like sitting in my room. I would much rather be at practice working my tail off, you know, sweating in the heat, stuff like that, than I don't even know the alternative.
Yeah.
We never
it's
got
like, what
the
else
alternative.
is there?
Yeah. And so, but softball things were still kind of happening in that fall. There was a home run derby, the MLBX. Oh my gosh, I was horrible. I think I hit 2 home runs. And like,
which is also televised, right?
Which is televised. And like, I think they had my phone. I think they had Instagram Live on my phone, on my account.
Oh no.
I'm like, I don't like the situation that I'm in right now. And at the same time, it was like such a cool experience and like so much fun. I was meeting like old MLB players, and like I got to hang out with Rachel. I'm not on Rachel's team. I never got to hang out with Rachel, but like I got to actually talk to her and see what she, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so that was the first time I had to like find the beauty in a real embarrassing part, like real dark situation. And kind of getting back to who I am and like the love and the passion. And I was cheering for other people. I was cheering for, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name, but I was cheering for the other teams. I was getting so excited for them. I was like, what's going on?
Who is this?
Why did I just make the biggest fool out of myself? And the next day I'm still there, which we didn't have to show up. I showed up anyways because I was like, what else am I going to do? And was cheering them on, had so much fun. At the time of my life, there was like a little like dinner after that I went to, got to meet all these people. And that was like the first time I was okay. I wasn't okay with failing, but like I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Let me go enjoy it anyways. Let me go find a way.
Do you think that has helped you grow even more? So like you go from like on top of the world, walk-off grand slam, to all of that. Would you say that you are in a better place because of all that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I still think there's so much more growing to do, but I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything
and finding
happens.
The beauty in like those things, because you can see how that has helped shape you into now. You come in, and I want to ask you, like, the very first game, like, we're hitting a double and a home run, and it's like, before that game, I, and the Talons, like, believe in you. But it's like, everybody else was like, like, she could just do the exact same thing. And it's like, what is it in you that was like, literally don't care. Whatever. What you guys say, I know what that I can bring to the table. It's in my blood. I'm bought in. Like, I'm going to show up because I know I can. I don't care what you guys say.
I mean, it comes back to the competitor in us, that if for whatever reason that person in the dugout or the team in the dugout or the person on the mound in front of me doesn't believe in me, good.
And the person in the stands.
The people in the stands,
the people on Twitter.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't need you to.
I don't need you, because that's when, by then I had found I get validation in other ways. I don't need your approval. That's another big thing, is I'm a huge people pleaser, and it was having to learn how to let people down. Having to let people down, and like people who are putting a lot of money into you, and like you're not performing or you're not doing this, and it's like I'm not pleasing these people. It's eating away at me, but such is life, you know? Like it's impossible to please everyone, to please yourself always. And so being okay with continuing along your path and all the outside noise, everything that people are going to tell you, you need to do this, this, and that, you know, all this stuff. Like, I couldn't tell you how many things went wrong in the off season. I was trying to get on other teams. I was the whole, like, the USA team thing happened, and I was just I kept getting knocked down, like, into March. I was getting knocked down.
Right.
Like, and I thought it was going to end in August. It kept going. But somewhere along the way, I don't know what happened. One day, I think it was in like January, I woke up And I was just like, okay, I accept everything that happened, and I have no choice but to be okay with it at this point, because there is no going back and fixing it. There's only moving forward. So how am I going to move forward here? And I had no idea.
Yeah.
I think we had been redrafted at that point, but like, if for those who don't know, you get to keep people, and then through the draft, you can. It's really confusing. But basically, what happened with me is I was never kept. Like I didn't know if I was going to be on the team again, basically, and I wasn't promised tomorrow. Basically,
Right.
I didn't know if I was ever going to play softball again, and when I woke up, and instead of thinking, man, I don't know if I'm going to make the team this year, or I don't know if I'm going to be good enough, I went out there. I lifted that day. I remember I had leg day the first day. Leg day was a Monday. And then I got my bat and I started swinging. And I didn't care what it looked like because I knew it was January and I didn't have to be great until June. And so I just started swinging. And I started going through my process and like, okay, this doesn't feel right. Now, trust me when I say that there were times where it's like almost like a PTSD moment where I would tense up and be like, I remember when I did this in the game or stuff like that. And it's like,
Yeah, cut that out.
relax. But also understanding that that's part of the process, is the anxiety and or like everything that comes along with it, because you did experience those things.
Yeah.
And you did go through all of that.
Yeah.
And you
good point.
can't push it away, act like it didn't happen.
Embrace it. More of
yeah.
embrace it.
Embrace
Just keep
it.
swinging, babe.
Just keep swinging.
I like that.
So whenever I eventually just got back into it, I still couldn't figure my swing out. I was kind of like okay with it, in a little bit of a panic, because I was like, I would like to hit this year.
Yeah.
Um,
I would like for things to be
yeah.
different. Yeah.
But it's like, you know what? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I can't control that. I can only control, the work that I put in. I can't control if I'm in the lineup. I can't control if I'm on a team this year. And it got to the point where I was just glad to be a part of this. When I found the beauty in being a part of something that was the first of its kind and making huge strides, and knowing that I still had little girls out there, and like even like the college girls looking up to me, reaching out to me all the time. Like I still had that. There was still reason for work to be done. And that was enough for me, basically. I didn't have to have people saying great things about me on social media. I didn't have to have 10,000 likes on every
You
post.
realized it was never about that.
It was never about that. No. And so getting back to like, this is what it's about. It's about getting better every day. It's about doing what you can and doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's going to take you in the right direction. And if it doesn't, maybe it wasn't meant for you. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, maybe I need to find a job. Maybe I need to move into another part of softball, maybe coaching. I don't know.
But everything happens for a reason.
Right. Everything happens for a reason. And once I accepted that it was out of my control, out of my hands, I was finally like at peace. And it almost like brought a sense of excitement because I didn't know what was going to happen next. I didn't know I was going to hit well this year. I still don't know. I'm coming off an injury.
Yeah, we're in the middle of this right now.
I'm in the middle of an injury right now. I still don't know what's going to happen. But like that's the excitement of it.
Yeah, but you're more excited.
Know.
You're not scared.
I'm not scared. Like
Love that.
Understanding that the anxiety you're feeling isn't always like bad anxiety.
Butterflies.
Maybe it's like you realize you have the whole world out in front of you and you can really do whatever you want with it. And so, a couple things here and there go your way and it's boom, I'm right back on track again, starting another season with the home run, my first at bat. And it was a real full circle moment because I felt the exact same way at the beginning of my senior season at Arkansas of like, I don't know, I could be great this year, I could not be, I don't know. And that's how I felt again. And I remember I got down 2 strikes and I was like, well,
here we go.
Well, here we go, 2-strike count. I don't know what's gonna happen, but here we go. And I remember I didn't even see the ball that I swung at. My body just swung. And for the first time since that walk-off grand slam, it was like I was an athlete again. I was an athlete. Because when you're an athlete, you don't think, you just do.
Yeah.
And I know we did talk about all that, like thinking and process, but that's a whole different thing. It's not, you're not thinking about the outcome. You're not thinking, I have to hit this ball. I want to stay on this team. I want to keep playing softball. I want to be an Olympian, all this stuff. Like, those are dreams and goals you write down and you put them away and you tuck them in. And it's like...
And you work on the process to make those happen, but those aren't always like things that you're telling yourself every single day.
Right. And that's not like the forefront. That's not the only thing I see ahead of me. Like, what I see ahead of me right now is we're about to play a team, and I know what their pitchers throw, and I know what my adjustments need to be, and that's what's in front of me. Not the 2028 Olympics.
You're part
not
of
2032.
Yes,
you know?
I'm a part of the plan that I have in front of me tomorrow. That's the one that I'm bought in. And if I'm bought in on this plan that I'm supposed to execute tomorrow, that's going to help me in the bigger picture plan.
Right. If I do my job every single day, and that doesn't mean I'm going to be perfect. I need to do my job.
Yeah.
And if I control the things I can control, those things that I tucked away will work themselves out. They already have. I've already won awards. I'm already a professional athlete. Like, I've proven to myself that I can do these things, and I fully believe in them that I can. Once I like loosen my grip a little bit on stuff like that, and the, you know, stuff that doesn't really matter in hindsight, awards don't matter. Like, yeah, it's cool. I'm an All-American. I'm a player of the year, but it's like, is that why I do it? No.
Yeah.
I do it to solve the puzzle every day.
You enjoy the puzzle.
I enjoy the puzzle. I enjoy the process. I enjoy having to swallow a loss and come back the next day and throw the first punch.
Yeah.
And like redefining who I am along each step.
The beauty in the little things.
Oh my gosh.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Before they kick us off the field, I'm a little scared, but if you had to, just to wrap things up, because I think that was so awesome, just to be able to hear you talk about all that. If younger Bri, let's pretend this is Little Montana. And that's Little Bri.
I love talking about younger Bri.
And if you were just to tell Bri, you had just 60 seconds to talk to Little Bri, what are you telling Little Bri?
Well, the first thing about Little Bri is she always knew. She always knew. And she never let anyone tell her otherwise, because people definitely did. And there were definitely circumstances thrown her way. But it's like, whatever, you know? Whatever. And she kept going. And I have that, you know, that little trend where it's like you put the picture of you when you're younger on your mirror and you get to see her every day. And like, that's my why. That's why I do what I do. Is because one day, couldn't tell you when, couldn't tell you why, couldn't tell you how, I made up my mind when I was super young that I had a dream and I was going to do it. And I didn't know what it was going to take. I didn't know what it was going to look like. And I didn't know about all the awesome opportunities it was going to bring along with it. But I just kind of like jumped in. So I feel like if I were to tell her something, it's to not change a thing and just keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep feeling your deep feelings. So like when I was sad, I was sad. When I was hurt, I was hurt. When I was happy, I was happy. Be okay with feeling and expressing yourself, and understand that that's going to make you who you are. But the thing is, I tell my younger self that, but like she knew it all along.
She already knew it.
She already knew.
She was like, I'm going to keep swinging regardless, babe.
Right. And like maybe pitching wasn't for me. That's fine.
I think it worked out.
I still had some strikeouts under my belt for sure.
I think it worked out.
And like I could still probably throw my arm in a circle. Do you remember at your camp?
Yeah. We were at a camp and she's just like, I can pitch. And she like casually throws like 65 probably. I was like, okay.
So sore the next day.
Gosh.
That was hilarious.
Well, I guess they're literally about to kick us off the field, but we could continue to go for hours and hours.
We could.
But I just think that's so awesome.
We should do a part 2. There was
so
much
okay.
we didn't get
Actually,
to.
We already just decided that there's going to be a part 2. But for now, I'm so grateful that you were just like able to be inside the circle, literally and physically and all of the above, because you're just so awesome, and just see like how I know how your brain works, and because I've been fortunate enough to like learn that, and just to be a small part and just be able to like follow you along. Just like you're just an incredible person and human being.
I'm going to interrupt her. Not only did she follow along, she was there every step of the way. She was texting me in the off season.
She's like, please stop texting. You're annoyed.
I remember being like, she is like seriously concerned for my health right now. Like this, this poor woman is concerned about me. And no, you really were there every step of the way.
Well,
Sometimes,
it's very easy to do though. Like your heart is so big, and like everybody else can see, like the sky's not even the limit.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's what I think is so encouraging to like hear you talk about all the highs and the lows, because like there's people out here that have the same dreams and that are scared that these limitations and sometimes their big heart, sometimes these big scary things and situations that are thrown at them, they think that's going to stop them. But like, I know that I am, but it's so like I can feel mine, but sometimes we don't do a good job of like sharing all of these things that
we don't have time.
have like held us back in a way.
Yes.
But it's like these are very real, and just because like you're going through them doesn't mean that you can't do what we do.
Yeah.
And like you very easily can be sitting in these things, having the same mindset, the same determination, and like being able to bounce back and surrounding yourself with people that check in on you and like care and are passionate and like know that the sky's not the limit and that are going to help you reach those points too. So I'm just so glad that you're in my circle, and I'm just so grateful that you're here. And this is part one, because I know there's part two. But we'll see you soon.